macaroons.
Nikki. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you missed part 1, we discussed
I wanted to be closer to God. And I feel like the thing that was stopping me from being closer to God was having sex before marriage.
And then also in the movies, you know what I'm saying? You never seen the men do it, but the women used to always be like, I ain't giving it up until I find a woman. So, you know, as I said, I'm going to try it out. I ain't giving it up until I find the one.
So after we met and we decided to both be celibate together in our relationship, were you scared that you'd be sexually disappointed by waiting until after marriage? Because you know how people be like, you gotta
want to get with somebody, you gotta test the waters.
Yeah, you know, before you.
Because you know, I did have a past, and you know, I've been with multiple women before. So, and at that point in time, you know, pornography was a struggle.
How do you fight, or how did you fight through sexual temptation?
Bruh, that was bad. That was a bad toe. So when I first got saved, I went, I don't know, 14 months without having any sex. And I backslid. It was more of a backslide. I dove in. Oh, that just didn't sound right.
It didn't come out right. But I got you. Keep
okay,
going.
edit that out. But you know, I backslid, and it broke my heart, man. It was just one of those things, man. Knowing that I was living in sin, knowing that I had made the Father a promise, knowing the warning, the strong warning that he gave me, just explaining just my mental state in those times, explaining the spiritual wars that I was dealing with. It's because I was, like I said, I had all these spirits in me with all these women that I've been with, and in that time he was in a purification stage with me. So fast forward, the Lord allowed me to get back on track, and when I met Nikki, I was already, I think, probably like 14, 15 months again going strong. And it was a battle, man. I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. It was nights I spent laying on my face, crying and fasting because, you know, I'm ready to just call up any woman in my phone. I'm ready to just pick up any woman on the side of the road. You know, I'm battling with, you know, walking in and trying to get this girl number, and then immediately after she called me, I act like, you know, I'm not even there. So it was a war, man. And then struggling with, you know, watching porn, and then feeling heavily convicted in the midst of watching porn. And it was a roller coaster. You know, to me it felt like a roller coaster, but you know, where I'm at now, it was a process. You know, the Lord was with me the whole time, and even the times where I gave in, you know, He was with me. And if I just would have held on a little longer, if I just would have pressed a little harder, if I just would have fasted one more day, you know, I wouldn't have gave in to those temptations. But I'm definitely thankful for it. It definitely made me a better man. Removing sex out of my life allowed me to focus on the Father, and then it allowed me to see what the enemy was doing through women. You know, like that, it allowed me to see him sending every woman that I prayed for my way, and I'm thinking like, oh, is this her? Oh, this could be her. But I already knew who the Father told me was my wife. But because, you know, she was in a relationship, you know, I pushed back, you know, but in the midst of me waiting. Nah, she wasn't thinking about me. She wasn't paying me no mind, man. And I wasn't pressing up on her while she was in a relationship. I just knew I heard what the Father tell me that, you know, this is your wife. But at that point in time, I couldn't see it because she was already in a committed relationship. And I never pressed up on her. But in the midst of waiting, man, your boy was getting died, dog. He was getting died.
So how did I fight through through sexual temptation. To be honest, I think I won't speak for all women because I feel like different women have different struggles. So the temptation wasn't as strong for me like Shelton's temptation was. So my fight wasn't, or my battle wasn't as hard as Shelton.
Right.
Did I desire to have sex, or did I ever, just being honest, did I ever get horny? Of course, but because the person that I was with at the time when I decided to be celibate didn't even live in the same state with me. So, that was a good thing for me that helped me. And then once Shelton and I got together, which I believe was another question on here. How did you restrain yourselves once you begin dating? Once Shelton and I, so I'm gonna just go ahead and answer this question and then send it back your way. So once Shelton and I got together, now that became hard. That's when it was a battle because, and this is another video. Y'all make sure y'all check out the How We Met video, coming to a YouTube channel near you. But once we met, it was hard because it's like, the Holy Spirit, in somebody will make you, just be like, man, you kind of fine there. Especially like when you wasn't even checking for them, or even thinking about them, but all of a sudden God just turn on that, that light that say, that's your husband right there, and then you like, oh really? He got cute, So
had on his white shirt.
He did. Going 4 years strong right here in this white t-shirt.
Hey, I'm a white tee fanatic.
But so after it did become harder after we got together. It was to the point to where, he had a curfew at my house. Cause he used to always come over to my place. And so his curfew was him having to leave by 10 o'clock. He would.
That's not how it started off.
Okay.
It wasn't always a curfew.
Correct. It wasn't always a curfew. It became
Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
It became a curfew because the temptation began to get, too heated.
Too heated.
I mean, once you realize that this person is the person that you are going to be with for the rest of your life, and once you just realize that God has answered your prayers in every, way or form, he embodied everything that I had prayed for. And so that was a turn on for me. And then, when we finally kissed for the first time, because that was something that we were trying to abstain from doing until we got married, but that just didn't work out. And that just opened a whole nother floodgate of emotions and desire that it became extremely hard at that point to abstain, from sex. Did Shelton spend the night over my house, a few times? Yeah. And do I think that was the right thing to do? No.
Nah. It wasn't.
So it's definitely not something that I'm encouraging anybody else who is on this journey to do. Just don't have sex, don't kiss, don't spend the night, be home early, like don't even stay until it's dark, because the freaks come out at night.
Yeah. It's probably difficult if they already live in the same house though, and they're trying to do it, the right way. And they already got kids and things like that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't even know what to tell you. Trust the Lord.
Yeah. But you don't want to hear what folks don't want to hear.
What you don't want to hear. But at the end of the day, it's what's going to keep you. It's what's going to sustain you. I mean, as a man living single. Job, I had a lot of women chasing after me.
Was that right?
But the Lord, I wouldn't say they was running, but you know, you seen the little subtle jabs, and you know, you seen the little subtle flirts and every now and then.
Especially in the church, huh? They be like, oh, Deacon Kelly. Tell the truth, shame the devil.
Bless your little heart. Oh yeah, another thing I had to stop doing, I had to stop listening to music like Trey Songz, Chris Brown, you know, all these baby making songs. I had to stop listening to them songs, man. Like, because that stuff was overwhelming, man. It was overwhelming because you start listening to them songs, and then, you know, you start thinking about your wife, and then you're like, oh, I can't be thinking about her like this yet, and stuff like that, man. It's crazy. Okay. So I listen to Wade in the Water, 24/7. Wade in the water.
Make sure you stay tuned for part 3 of this video.
Question is, do you think it's okay to masturbate during celibacy? Why not?
I begin to have this Lord know my heart type feeling.
For me, no, I don't think it's okay.